The Holy See has maintained relations with Palestine since the 11th of February 1948, when the Holy See created the office of Apostolic Delegate to Jerusalem and Palestine, with jurisdiction over Palestine, Transjordania, and Cyprus. In Vatican usage, an apostolic delegate is a representative of the Vatican in a country with which the Holy See has no diplomatic ties, and who is not accredited to the government of the country. The delegate also acts as a liaison with the Catholic Church in that country. Both states are observers of the United Nations. Archbishop Andrea Cordero Lanza di Montezemolo, who had been apostolic delegate to Jerusalem and Palestine since 1990, was also appointed the first apostolic nuncio to Israel after relations were established between Israel and the Holy See in 1994. Since 1994, the nuncios to Israel have held simultaneous appointments as nuncios to Cyprus and apostolic delegates to Jerusalem and Palestine. The nunciature to Israel is located in Tel Aviv. The Holy See and the Palestinian Authority entered into agreements in 2000 and 2015 to formulate the relationship of the Holy See and the Palestinian Authority, which is referred to as the State of Palestine. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict and Israeli control of most of the West Bank territory are the major focus of these agreements. Before the creation of the Office of Apostolic Delegate, the custodian of the Holy Land, which has had a presence in the Holy Land since after the Crusader period, and by the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, which was reinstituted in 1847, represented the interests of the Vatican in the region. In 1987, Michel Saba became the first native Palestinian to be appointed Latin Patriarch. His successor in 2008 was Fouad Toual from Jordan. A majority of clerics are of Palestinian or Jordanian origin. In May 2009, Pope Benedict XVI expressed support for a two-state solution of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. In January 2017, the Palestinian embassy to the Holy See was opened. When the 1948 Arab-Israeli War broke out, the Pope maintained the official attitude of impartiality in the conflict. On the 24th of October 1948, at a time when the war was still raging, Pope Pius XII issued an encyclical, called In Multiplicibus Curis, which called for the protection of the holy places, and called for peace and mutual respect by the combatants. Though continuing to maintain an attitude of impartiality, the Pope also looked for possibilities for justice and peace in Palestine. Pope John XXIII wrote the encyclical Pacem in Terris on peace in the world, and this encyclical has sometimes been reread and reinterpreted by Christians in the context of politics in the Holy Land. Pope Paul VI went on pilgrimage to the Holy Land in January 1964. His vivid and personal experiences there prompted him to call for new, important and creative initiatives on behalf of Palestinians and the Church in Palestine. On 25 March 1974, he wrote the encyclical Nobis in Animo on the social problems existing in the Holy Land. John Paul II met with Yasser Arafat in 1987 and generally supported greater rights for Palestinians. He was an advocate of the 1990s peace negotiations. On February 15, 2000, the Holy See concluded a basic agreement with the Palestinian Authority. Pope Benedict made a 2009 trip to Jordan and Palestine. Although the trip had been put in doubt because of persistent infighting in the Israeli-occupied Gaza, Pope Benedict paid great attention to the sufferings of people in the Holy Land, and especially the Palestinian people. On 24 October 2010, the final statement by the Synod of Bishops chaired by Benedict XVI stated that the necessary legal steps to put an end to the occupation of the different Arab territories. Going on to say, recourse to theological and biblical positions which use the word of God to wrongly justify injustices is not acceptable. It was well received by Palestinian diplomats. Chief Palestinian negotiator Saeb Erekat stating, "We join the Synod in their call to the international community to uphold the universal values of freedom, dignity and justice." Israel's Deputy Foreign Minister Danny Ayalon said that the Synod was hijacked by an anti-Israel majority. On December 17, 2012, the Pope in a meeting with Palestinian President Abbas made an official endorsement of the UN General Assembly resolution which recognized Palestine as a non-member observer state. Pope Francis expressed sympathy to the Palestinian cause already during his visit to the Palestinian Authority in May 2014. On 13 May 2015, the Vatican announced the intention to sign its first treaty with the State of Palestine after formally recognizing it as a state in February 2013. The comprehensive agreement between the Holy See and the State of Palestine was signed on 26 June 2015. On 14 January 2017, the Palestinian embassy to the Holy See was opened. On 26 May 2014, a small box of crosses was set ablaze in the Dormition Abbey in Jerusalem. Witnesses Belly